fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. And well, quite a bit of things have been happening. Now, Deku in the last part took a day off where he talked to the previous users. Now, most of the entire day was basically arguing whether or not to kill Seiso Shigaraki or try to save him. Now, this was a very tough conversation, since Deku, he is basically talking about saving a man who is completely fucking psychotic and nowhere near his right mind. Now, this was quite the conundrum for the users. They believe that a piece of Yoshi is telling Deku not to do this, or to not kill All For One. However, they really aren't in charge. Now, with that being said, Deku, he tried to enjoy his day off to the fullest. However, that was sort of just a problem. Now, we actually will cut it to sometime later, where today the UA students are Class 1A, they do actually go to walk towards the observation room for their final exams. Now, you do actually have for everybody, they are all standing there, and they're looking around. Aizawa informed them to come here. So, what's going on? This place is strange. Where's All Might? He's their combat instructor. Now, you do actually where Deku does inform them all that today All Might's not their combat instructor. As Deku, he actually does come, well, floating down from the roof using float. Now, as Deku does actually touch down, everybody do stare at him, as someone does remark that that's a lot like Ochako's quirk. I'm sorry? Yeah, it's our classmate. She has a zero gravity quirk. Everyone, it's alright. Fascinating. Anyways, all of you should be aware. Principal Nezu has asked me to be here. I'm your school's security guard. The name is Izuku Midoriya. Many of you must know me already as the multiple quirked man. Or, well, boy if you want to be a bit of an asshole about it, but I don't really care. Now, I really do just look at Deku. His teaching, it's very similar, and they don't like where this is going. Okay. Now, a few changes have been made to your finals. Today, you will all be fighting me. Now, I don't mean this as a 2v1, and your finals will go that way. I mean all of you. Huh? Wait, you can't just do that. I mean all of you. Now, Deku, he does confirm a few things. For this test, all of them, they must remain standing or conscious during the battle. They will all be allowed 10 minutes to try and take him down. And Deku, he will hold back with half of his power. Now, Deku, he doesn't tell Class 1A that that's the amount of power he can use. He just does tell them he's holding back his full power. Now, Deku, he's not going to be using Fall Jin for this, since that can cheat him to around 100%. And, well, Deku, he's around, or at least let's just say, 50 to 55% of one for all. Now, this battle, you do actually have everybody they do get ready. And you do actually have Deku who's standing across the city. This place is huge. Okay, let's see. 20 students, 10 minutes. If I take out 2 within a minute, then I'll at least make my quota. So, Deku going to actually crack his knuckles. Then he should start things off the way he's sure All Might would. Deku going to actually bring his foot down, or at least his legs into a stance. Before Deku just cock back his fist and going to charge up with 55%. Now, Deku does immediately throw his fist out forwards, as hard as he can. The shockwave that gets sent that direction, it's intense. Now, I'm not exactly too sure how much power All Might had, but at 50% to 55%, that's 100% of All Might's power if you were to have doubled One for All from the previous user. So Deku does sort of let loose his class when he does think. And it's quite crazy. Since the moment they did hear a large boom, all of them did look the direction towards Deku. As you did actually have Todoroki to go to bring up his left side or his right side and go to actually blast out ice as much as possible, trying to recreate his sports festival event or his sports festival attack. Now, the moment the ice is actually created and Todoroki does go to blast more that direction, Deku's blasts immediately hit the wall of ice and send it shattering and flying. As everybody they all do try to run for cover as soon as Todoroki did start the attack. Now, some students are sent flying, and many of them they do try to quickly recover and understand exactly what the hell is happening. Now, you do actually have where Mina, Kaminari, and let's just say Momo, they do all get sent flying in the same direction. As many of them do get just go to stand up and look towards the ice, or where Todoroki once was. Now, Todoroki has been blasted backwards into the wall or the starting point. And that's bad. Now, all of them are immediately thinking, Todoroki was out with just one attack? Now, this is where you actually do have Deku, who does appear directly behind Mina. So I take it that you're next? Her actually going to spin and turn as she's going to try and use her acid attack. Deku actually going to blast himself to the right using One for All, as he's just floating there upside down. Okay. So, I don't know exactly who you three are, but you're gonna have to do a lot better than that. Nezu does think that you all should be more trained, especially after what happened. You have to be calm under circumstances like this. Calm? How can we be calm? Denki going to try and use 1,000,000 volts. No. Deku, he does look at that attack, as he does just do one simple thing. He does go to bring up his hand and go to create a wall using Black Whip, as all of them are quite surprised. That's not possible. That thing he's making, it's a construction based, this being where it does go flying, or tendrils do go flying out of the wall and directly go to attack Denki, along with Mina and Momo. Momo trying to create a shield that she can use to block the damage. Now, Mina is sent flying backwards to the air, as we do actually have where Baku does go flying up into the air and going to catch Mina, as he does go flying down towards the ground and directly go to throw himself backwards, him smashing on the ground as he does try to stand back up. Now, he does ask if she's alright. Huh? Hi, Bakugo. You have pretty eyes. Oh, crap. Now, this is actually where you do also have Momo, who her shield was destroyed and she got sent flying backwards. Her trying to get back up and going to try to think about what to create. Now, this is basically what does happen. Deku rips apart and demolishes Class 1A in this mock battle. And it's quite intense. Now, everybody they were quite surprised at the power Deku does hold. Since, yeah, that was not a competition. That was a slaughter. Now, Deku, he would have informed all of them by the end of the 10 minutes that that's all quite surprising. Many of them, they don't really seem to be conscious. However, he can't blame them since he wasn't holding back. The fact that they can all last 10 minutes against him, or at least some of them could, it does show that others do need to catch up and make improvements, along with trying to utilize their quirks the right way. Now, Deku, he would go to leave, him flying through the air as Bakugo is going to try and stop him. Now, Bakugo did just watch Deku fly off. As everybody, they're either carried back to the observation bay where a bus will be waiting for them, or they try to walk back with their injuries. Now, it was all quite strange. Apparently, Nezu wanted Class 1A to be humbled by this experience. With the fact that Tenya Ida, he thought he was a full-fledged pro. The man, or boy, he was very responsible. He was a part of the Ingenium family. And he did something that not many of his classmates or fellow classmates expected him to even do, or even really consider doing. He rushed in to try and murder a man. That is not a good look for UA, nor his family. So, yeah. Nezu felt like this was much appreciated. Let the students know whenever they're in over their heads, and when it's a time to retreat. Now, this is all quite strange to Deku. He doesn't understand it himself, but apparently it's needed. Now, with that being said, you do actually have Melissa and David, who they're experimenting more and more with the Nomu. And with the help of Island's medical research facilities, they're actually getting a bit closer to uncovering things. The Nomu was a massive, massive piece of the puzzle in decoding human DNA, especially the way it's been modified and messed with, along with the effects of this all for one guy's quirk on it, since multiple other gene factors or quirk users' DNA were found inside the Nomu other than the person who they believe to be the man, or the creature. Now, this was all quite intense, and it was also very interesting. Now, with that, we actually do cut over to All for One, where tonight he does wake up in a cold sweat, and he does go to look down at his hands before bringing them up to his face. Now, All for One, he does look around, along with even finding the devices poked into his skin. This is not good. This is not good at all. Now, he does just try to think. What he needs to do right now is very simple. He needs to get the hell out of here before it knows he's in the light. Now, we do actually have where off when he does decide to do something a bit rash. He does leave his facility and call Kirigiri. Kirigiri coming to his call or coming to him, as he does just do one simple thing. All for One would steal twice his quirk. Well, he's asleep. Now, this would cause a little bit of commotion, but twice, yeah. The immediate pain and backlash would have knocked him out. However, there was a brief mumbled scream, or scream where all for One did cover the man's mouth. Now, this is where say so, he would have created a copy and then go to try and give the quirk back to twice. Now, he would have actually turned his head and looked directly at the copy, who does look exactly like him. You need to listen to me now. Or what are you doing? What are we doing? How is that possible? Listen, I don't know. However, you need to tell him. Tell who? Tell Yoshi. Tell him what? We're sorry. You need to leave now. I'm going to find the doctor's research. Actually, you do that. If you find his research, you can take it to UA. Turn yourself in there. And whenever you do, hide there. Okay? I don't understand. Why are we doing all this? I don't get it. It's all fuzzy to me. I don't understand it either. But right now, this is our best chance. They stepped out of the light. We need it. Hurry. Now, this is where All for One, or the fake All for One, he would actually go to leave, quote unquote. Now, he does just tell Kirigiri that he does need to talk to the doctor, heading to the lab and stealing some notes, as he does ask Kirigiri to open a portal. Now, Kirigiri, he would have opened a portal, as the real All for One would have stepped out, or stepped through it and back to where the chair was, or where his resting place is for right now. Now, the fake All for One, however, he sneaks out. Now, he doesn't know exactly how much time he does have. The effects of Twice Quirk, they're not exactly understandable to them. The fact being that he didn't disappear immediately shows that that's good. However, there's also a problem. If Twice is aware of this quirk whenever he wakes up, or aware of a change in mental state, or even the idea that a copy of him does exist out there, he might try to recall it, unknowingly killing him. So, they need to move fast and move quick. Otherwise, a lot of bad things are going to happen. Now, the copy of All for One does run to the nearest phone, as it does directly punch in a phone number and go to call it. Now, we do actually have currently over at UA, where a phone does ring and somebody does go to pick it up. Now, we actually do have Miss Midnight, along with Mr. Aizawa and some of the other teachers in the teacher's lounge, who they were all talking. Hello? Yes. Hello, is this UA? Yes. How did you get this number? That's not important right now. Listen, this is urgent. You need to come find me right now. I'm sorry, who is this? It's Seiso Shigaraki. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Because that was not funny. Listen to me. I know about All for One. One for all. Yoichi, you need to come find me right now. Tell him the man's saying an address. As Midnight does hear the phone cut out. Now, she's just standing there somewhat stunned. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Now, we actually do currently have back over at Deku's home, or the dorms he's currently living in, where he is currently sitting down on the couch and watching a movie. As Melissa, she's actually trying to talk with Deku. The two, they have started to grow a little bit closer. He does seem to have a rough and hard exterior to everybody else. However, his exterior or his attitude towards people does change once he does walk through that door. It's now just something he does throw on for other people. However, he doesn't feel like it's needed for her. It kind of does make her feel special. Now, we do actually where Deku's phone does actually buzz, as he does go to sit up and go to actually pull it out of his pocket to answer. Hello? Izuku, you need to go to her saying a location. I'm sorry? Midnight? Yes, you need to. I'm sorry, why exactly is that? It's your brother. Deku immediately going to stand up. And Melissa does just stare at him as Deku does hang up the phone and go running outside. Now, Deku, he does just start running at high speeds with One for All, as he does turn on Fajin and directly leap up into the air with Float, and blast off using fire and his, One for All quirk. Now, Melissa, she did watch that. Deku took off insanely fast. So what exactly is going on here? Now, we do actually cut over to the city All For One's currently in. Let's just say for the sake of it, it's the next city over. But it's still quite a bit of time for Deku. Now, with Deku flying at unknown speeds, let's say presumably with float and fire and one for all, he's flying around 200 to 250 miles an hour, or possibly even 300 to 400 miles an hour. Now, well, let's just say Deku gets to the other city in the exact location in about 20 to 15 minutes. Anywhere between that time frame. Now, Deku does go to land on the ground. He does run over to where the payphone was, as he's been told about it. Now, Deku, yeah, he does round the corner and see it, as he does see a man sitting on the corner with a bunch of notes in his hand. Hello? The man looking up as he does turn his head. Yoshi. Say so? Yeah, it's been a long time, brother. Now, Deku, he does get to walk over and sit down. So, I'm confused. You had a mask last time I saw you, but you have a face now? What? No, this is part of a double. A double? I stole a quirk. Ironically, to meet you. It's the quirk of a villain named Twice. His quirk is he can create a copy of anything he touches. And or himself. I took the quirk and gave it back to him. The way I did it, he should see it as one of his own copies. Is out there. I'm not exactly too sure how long this body might actually last. But from what I'm going under, it should be I either have a time limit and I'll die then, or if I don't suffer any physical damage or long-term damage, I won't die. Okay, that makes no sense. You have a real body now? No, not really. This is made of, I want to say, clay? I don't know what he makes us out of. But listen, I copied my mental state and brought it into here, or this double. What? So that means All For One's in there too, isn't he? I don't know. He shouldn't be. Fact is, he'd basically kill himself with me. This copy of me will die, but the real say-so is still inside All For One's head. I knew it. Now, Deku does directly look at say-so, as tons of memories are flooding back to him. Deku's head, he does go to bring his hand up, and it does go to hurt, as Deku is actually moving and seeing the past in real time. Now, Deku, he does go to look up, and he's looking around. As All For One, he does is stare down at Deku. His eyes are widened. He's looking around at every single area around him. Tell me, are those Yuchi's memories? Huh? Sorry, my ears are ringing. Yeah, I see. You're perceiving things the same way I do. What? Tell me, what do you see? I'd say the best way to say it is ghost? There are things across the street. They look like people, but they're not. They look like blue lights. Deku's gonna bring his hand up, talking about how it feels like he can just reach out and touch them. I see. Yeah. But do you feel it? The vivid experiences of them? No, I don't. You're lucky. I do. Every experience I've ever absorbed, every quirk I've ever taken, everything I've ever done, everything they've ever done, I've seen it all. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Yoshi, I was the one that killed you. Look at us here now. I'm almost 300 years old, and you're what? 15, 16 in a reincarnated body? Looking pretty good for your age. Ah, Seisho. I'm not exactly Yoshi in the way you're thinking of. Huh? I do see his memories, and I do also see glimpses of the past. However, this is the first time I haven't frozen whenever I did so. So, what exactly did you want me here for? About that, I wanted to apologize. Now, you do actually have the ghost of Yoshi does pop out of Deku, and it does directly stand in front of All for One, as he does have his left hand outwards turned holding out the notes, talking about how this is everything he thought he could find on the Nomu project. He knows from some spies, or at least some information does have, the Nomu's gone missing, and they're trying to study it, aren't they? Huh? Now, the ghost of Yoshi does go to grab the papers, as he just holds his hand out and his fingers do run through the paper, as if to phase through. Deku walking right up next to Yoshi, as Deku does turn his head to the right. He really has changed. Now, Deku he would go to grab the papers, as there you do have it. Deku, Yoshi, and All for One. These three unlikely people, all connected at one simple little thing. Now, Yoshi he actually is going to disappear, as second does actually take his place. Him staring directly at All for One. I still don't believe it. That's not All for One, is it? No, second. All for One turning his head to look at Deku. That's Seisho. I've told you before. He's different, see? I still can't believe that this is the man that tried to kill us. The man that killed Yoshi. The man that killed me. Second, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to him. But can't you see now? We can free him. All for One is a monster inside of his head. You just need to help us. I don't understand. I don't know how I can help you other than giving you access to my quirk. But even then, I don't think you're ready for it. Now, Deku does step forwards, as All for One does look at Deku screaming at something invisible. So this is what it's like being on this side. Now, Deku he's telling the second user that if he has access to his quirk, he could at least do something with it. He could have more power. And maybe this would allow them to actually take out All for One. I won't give you my quirk unless I deem it absolutely necessary. The quirk is... Never mind. No. Second is going to disappear, as you actually have Nana who disappear. The boys are being stubborn, aren't they? Yes, they are, Nana. You're speaking with Nana Shimura? Yes, I can speak with all of them. I'm seeing ghosts, too. Now, Seiso does somewhat go to smile, and Nana, she does actually see that through Deku's eyes. That's a smile that's holding back a lot of pain. So, what do you plan to do? Deku holding up the notes. I plan to save him. I know you might not like that, but if there's something inside that head of his that's causing this, we need to try. Heroes save everybody, even from themselves if they have to. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.